Hello, 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 and welcome. Welcome back to the Applied Meditation with Lena Gurba. And I'm trying to figure out my background. Hello, hello, and thank you for being here with me. We're starting the third module, the third lesson in the series of 12 modules on the topic of applied meditation. And last week we spoke about the authentic meditation. And central to this idea of authentic meditation is the understanding or the awareness of the idea that the whole world, the entire world is coming from me. And there is nothing out there, not anything out there at all that is not coming from me. And that's the ultimate reality. And when your mind touches that reality, it changes so profoundly that you become somebody who has the capacity to help everyone. So that's the purpose, and that's what we call an authentic meditation. And you can probably make any meditation authentic by setting your intention at the onset that that is the purpose of the meditation. That's why you're sitting down on the chair or in a cushion. And even if you spend your entire meditation focusing on your breath or listening to the sounds, or maybe following the sensations in your body, if your intention is to be able to hold your mind single pointedly on that particular object, because you want to be able to train it to see this thing that we call ultimate reality, then in that case, it's an authentic meditation. So let me get into the sharing mode, share my screen, and let me know if you can hear me okay. I often assume that that's the case, and I hope it is. And just 1 second. I see that I'm frozen a bit. Okay. There. Perfect. So now the next thing we talked about was how important it is that we make sure that what we put in front of our mind, the object of the meditation, we briefly touched on it. It is very important that it's a valuable, worthy object because your mind reflects whatever you put in front of it. It really does. The other day, I was watching a cooking show with my daughter, and it was a wonderful show about baking. And it was a competition, and they baked elaborate desserts. So I closed my eyes when I went to bed. All I could see was the elaborate desserts. So your mind is very pliable. Be very careful what you put in front of it. The breath or the sensations in your body, or hearing things, it's very neutral. These are good objects when you train your mind just to stay focused. But what you're focusing, when you're focusing on the breath or all the other things I just mentioned, they're very neutral and they have really no value whatsoever. So eventually you do want to be able to place your mind on objects that have value, objects that are going to push you faster in the direction we all want to go. And that's to be able to see this thing that we call ultimate reality, because it alters us so much irrevocably. We also talked a little bit about setting yourself up for success and the importance of checking your mind for the top 10 ethical principles every day. And that's the morality. Um, it's good business. It's the good way to live ethically. We talked about diet. We talked about yoga. We talked about the right cushion. We also talked about finding the quiet place to meditate and finding a consistent time. So today, I want to focus on two things that are very important. Um, and at the onset, you want to develop the habit of doing everything correctly. And the only, so because it will set up your practice, it's the habit that you will ingrain and it will help you have a very good meditation. Maybe not every single time, um, but it will help you quite a bit. And the moment you set the intention that you want to meditate consistently, don't be discouraged because you will have all sorts of impediments. All sorts of things will come up in your mind that will be distracting. It's a normal thing. Don't be discouraged. Keep pursuing. So today we'll talk about seven or 8 point posture. Um, and in that posture, the most important is the straight back. And the eighth point, the seven are related to the body. The eighth is the breath. And the breath helps to shift your mind into neutral state. And when your mind shifts to neutral, your body shifts to neutral as well. And when your body is relaxed, you can park it at any spot and forget about it. And then your mind will be focused. And that's the key. And we'll also talk about the meditation warm up. The meditation warm up it helps to prime your mind to stay focused. It releases a lot of energy that oftentimes is trapped and will distract you throughout the meditation. So I invite you to close your eyes and just listen to my voice. And let's call this our first meditation. It's about time. It's our third lesson together. And I will be walking you through the warm up and through the posture and through the breath in the meditation. And if you have more than 15 minutes a day to meditate, if you allocate 45 minutes or an hour, use this sequence before you jump into the actual meditation. So let's dive in. And I have a little bit of the cold, so if I cough, I'll mute myself. But it's good to blow your nose. It's good to cough up, clear your throat, put your stuff away, put your phone away, very important. And just really give yourself this time, undisturbed time, just for yourself. So off we go. You can sit on the chair. You don't have to sit on the cushion. And maybe they were meditating on cushions because there were no chairs. So sit on the chair, but you want your feet firmly planted on the ground, not crossed, and the weight is equally distributed on both of them. And sit yourself a little bit of a distance away from the back of the chair so you're not leaning in. Your spine is supported by your own body, not by anything else. And that keeps your mind bright and clear. So make sure your back is straight. Tuck a little bit your belly. It's like pulling it in and up. And it makes up a much straighter spine. And as I mentioned, the back is really the most important aspect of a meditation because the anatomy of the back and what's happening in the back area is really essential to position it correctly. Your shoulders should be parallel to the ground. The fingers should be relaxed. And it's good for the energy flow if your first finger and your thumb touch. And I like to put the right hand into the left hand and join the thumbs and then leave them up in my lap. Just leave them in your lap comfortably. You can touch the thumb and the finger and put them on your knees, not, two hands separately. Keep your chin level to the ground. And your tongue, it needs to be set behind the teeth, at the back of the roof of your mouth, just behind your teeth. And it's the tip of your tongue so that you don't produce excess saliva. And relax your face and put a little smile on it. It's very helpful to move energies throughout the body. There are certain energetic knots, and one is in between our frown lines. When we smile, we relax that passage so the energy could flow. Relax your forehead. We are oftentimes in the habit of frowning and wrinkling the forehead when we concentrate. No need to that. No need to frown. And your eyes are closed and the eyelids are relaxed. You can leave them slightly open, but don't look through them. Sometimes it helps to have the eyes a little bit open, looking down, but not on anything in particular. It helps for the first minute or two. Just neutralize your mind and observe. And now breathe. Focus your attention on the nostrils. Focus your attention on the breath. And we will take 10 breaths together to neutralize the mind and the body. And we count starting with an out breath, like this. 1, out breath 2, try to make your out breath a little bit longer than your in breath. And when you reach to the top of your out breath, push a little more, and your stomach will automatically clench, and that makes your back stronger. In the normal life, we usually start with the first breath at birth and leave with the breath out. Breathing out first is the statement. It's an objection to dying. And then we follow with the breath in. It also helps us get the tidal air out of our lungs. And during meditation, air builds up. So long exhales are a good way to clear up build up air in your lungs, because it could cause neurological problems down the road. So here you go. 10 long out breaths through your nose. Don't worry about your in breaths as much. It will happen naturally by itself. And if your mind wanders, bring it back to the breath and start over the count. Now I'd like to ask you to think about one of your teachers. You know, we're all very lucky, very fortunate that we had many teachers throughout our life. And they all individually taught us wonderful things. And we start with our parents, the mother and the father. And even if you don't have a good relationship with either one, still, your mother risked her life and went through incredible pain and trouble to give you your life. And she also taught you how to talk, how to walk, how to eat, how to act around people. The parents really teach us so many things that we need in our life. Without them, we would be like animals. And then we had school teachers. School teachers are very dedicated people. They don't get much credit and they don't get much money, but they help the society at large tremendously. They help children, they help our children, all sorts of teachers, from math to music to arts to sports. And maybe you have religious teachers, maybe in your church, synagogue, temple, a mosque. And these people teach us about beautiful ideas, deeper ideas. Of course, they were not perfect. And of course, they had problems too. But the world is better with them. It's richer with the priests, imams, and rabbis. They're all human. But without them, the world would be worse off. And then you have spouses, children, brothers, sisters, uncles, aunts, friends. They all taught us so much. Best of all are our enemies because they make us examine our lives and become stronger. And you can also imagine a historical teacher, a holy being, an angel, a prophet, somebody you would call a spiritual teacher. So the first step is to invite one of those teachers to come and sit in front of you in meditation. And not like a statue, but embodied in flesh and blood. Imagine they're sitting right next to you, knee to knee. You can feel their presence, smell them. They are alive. And so they will stay in this room with you throughout this meditation. Mentally bow down to them. You know, they say that if you ever meet a real Buddha or an angel, you will automatically get down on your knees. All humans, without training, get down and prostrate in front of the holy being. You simply cannot stand in front of these beings. So in meditation, you do this bow mentally. You don't move your body. But bow down to the quality you admire in them. Maybe it's their compassion. Maybe it's their acceptance. Maybe it's their kindness. So sink your mind into some beautiful quality of your teacher. Try to feel it. And of course, every person looks like we have faults and mistakes. But here, please focus on what's right with the teacher. Make a good karma in this meditation. And you can offer a gift to your teacher. And it could be anything dear to you. It could be a favorite music. Maybe you cook them a yummy meal. Imagine the entire sky covered with flowers. It's a very common gift in tantric practice. Don't give them one of something. Give them a lot of that. And the highest offering is really not the material things. It's the greatest things that you've done this week to other people. It's not the money. It's not the incense. It's the good deeds towards others that they value the most. And now let's free up some energy to help us in this meditation. Let's open the hearts and be honest about some maybe big mistakes that you've done this week. We work super hard to hide our bad habits and mistakes. We keep them secret. Your teacher knows everything anyway. And I assure you, he or she doesn't judge you. So it helps you purify and clean that mistake. So this honesty, that step of honesty, it's very therapeutic. Let it go, give it to the teacher. It's like salt that kills bad seeds. And now it's equally important to tell your teacher about the good things you did. Whatever you did last week, that was good. Be happy about it. What are those good deeds? Rejoice in them. We often feel embarrassed to celebrate what we do good. It's not bragging. It's not vanity. It's just enjoying your own goodness. You are an amazing person. And you do a lot of good all day. So find joy in those. Share with the teacher. Ask your teacher for more classes, for more personal teaching. Ask for highest teachings that will make you stronger and help you serve the world. Ask your teacher to stay in your life. We all could be better students. We all could do better, but we all need teachers. So ask your teacher to stay in your life and never leave you alone. And now offer all your good deeds to the well-being of everybody in the world. Take 3 deep breaths out and slowly come out, stretch. Take a drink. So this was a longer version of the warm-up, just to give you more color and a better idea of what it does and how it feels. And so certainly when you have more time, you can spend more time on this warm-up. But we all live in a very fast-paced world, so you can shorten it, but still include these steps. And that's all for today. We went over the posture. We talked a little bit about the breath, and we talked about the warm up to the meditation, the preliminary steps to the meditation. And next week, I want to take you a little bit further into the idea, how we progress more in our meditation and how to focus on 2 things. It's what we call dullness or anxiety and agitation in the meditation when you're too sleepy or your mind is just too active. And I'll explain a little bit how to deal with those states. And I really look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you so much for dialing in.